Good afternoon. Hello, Mr. Reed. This is TJ Boyd, Management Leadership. Discussion number 4, coming late. It's April 28th. And I'm just going to get right down to it to keep this video short. So, quick refresher. We went over, it's basically about the case of Northern Industries and the problems they have. Pretty sure you were familiar with everything, so I'm not going to explain it to you. The most immediately, man, this one was a hard one. I got to be honest. This one really gave me a lot of stress because I really didn't have a good grasp on it immediately. But the more I broke it down, it's like you kind of find more importance in like smaller parts, because I was honestly more focused on the race aspect of the whole thing, and I almost got like distracted and clouded up. But it honestly, the more I've come to think about it over the last couple of days, it is almost entirely management problems. Diversity issues, conflict between sales and shipping is a really big one, and the need for more hands and the quality of shipping supplies is a direct conflict that's probably leading to bigger issues. So let's get right down to it, and here are the questions I want to answer for you, and then we'll have a little free range. All right. So, what was your first clue from the case of the Northern Industries had diversity issues? And obviously, I think it's the president. Obviously, the president called you in to come and handle this. So, like, if the big guy upstairs knows, it's probably more prevalent and dire than people would assumed. So I definitely think that the second I'm getting a call from the president of the industry and giving me these issues, I was already given like, hey, okay, big flag. A of 1, did you have any opinions prior to your meeting with top management to get a flavor of the organization? And I was thinking, like I said earlier, it was mostly a racial issue. But now it seems it's more from the management. And the reason I immediately got hung up on race, because when it was like described to me 80% black, 20% Asian, and that they're not mixing with each other, it kind of immediately reminded me of like prison. And races click up, especially in these kind of situations of high stressful situations, like you gang up and there's power in numbers. And in a situation like that, it's like, it sounds really stupid, but I mean, racism is live and active today, and people might not really be outwardly negative about it, but who you're attracted to and who you hang out with is really important. And usually people click up with their own race. And so immediately I was kind of thinking like something like that. It's like, how are we going to get these two groups to mix? And it's like, man, I don't know if that's a really good idea, man. Like, this sounds stupid, but like in the first week I was doing this, I was like, man, like, this is stupid. But I was like coming at it from a really dumb authoritarian view. It was like, well, I'll fire all of you. You're all fired. Everybody's fired. And I'm going to hire everybody new. It's all going to be diverse. And we'll just restart with this whole shit. But I was like, that's not a good way to run a business or be a manager, or to even give somebody, it's going to shut all this shit down. And even if you start phasing people out to maybe have a more diverse issues, it's like really not even about that. Like, it doesn't matter what race people are in the company, I don't think, to have a good company, personally. So, yeah, question I, assuming I was Japanese American heritage, was there anything said in that meeting that could have offended me? Dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I have no answer for this. Like, I feel like really stupid and like blatantly ignorant, because I'm like, I didn't see anything technically offensive to anybody of Japanese heritage. I really tried to look for this one. The only thing I could see was like when he described the Asians and he said Oriental. I was like, and I don't even know if that's a problem. Do Japanese people not like being called Oriental? I don't even know. I wouldn't have called. I don't know. That's the only thing I could probably get my. I don't know. And if somebody was offended, I'm going to need to be told why somebody would be offended. Because I feel like either I'm not getting something or people are being pussies. Being sensitive. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So, B, is this culture what is the organizational culture of this business? And I hope I read this again. I went over all the personal cultures again in the book, and I definitely think it's an achievement style culture, more focused on results, and a real stressful, high with competitiveness, aggressiveness, values of personal initiative, and willingness to work hard and long hours. That sounds like this place. I'm not gonna lie to you. This sounds like a place that don't give a goddamn about their employees. To be honest, I don't even know much about this. I know it's probably a fake scenario, but just from what I've heard, and just being in the business of working shitty jobs, man, it don't sound like these. There's almost like, I don't know, they had a break room is the only benefit I saw. Like, wow, cool. Like, so. And, like, I mean, it would be way better if they were, like, you know, in an involvement culture. I think that's the way that I would probably try to start moving this, with involvement and participation for the employees to meet the unexpected challenges, because they're already obviously having problems. And, you know, it's not always management, I don't know, first goal is to like, I don't know, brainstorm how things get better. I mean, management to me, I mean, there are different types of managers in different positions, but from this company, again, it's only 150 people. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of higher middle management. So it definitely comes down to, like, man, the boss has got, you gotta do schedule, I gotta do inventory, I gotta keep up with orders, communication between stuff, checking up on people who's sick. I ain't got time to be thinking about, you know, how I'm gonna do this better. And if I am, I'd love to have suggestions from my employees, because you're doing the damn deal all the time. I'd love to hear about it. It's called suggestion box, or drop me a line with talk about with other companies with the open door policy. I think it's a great thing to do. So how do I think the culture has become as it is? And that, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the freaking managers. That little outburst in the meeting, bro, tisk tisk. And that is, and if they're doing that when they're on their best behavior, somebody's coming to visit, and you're gonna start fighting in front in the manager meeting, and you guys gonna get shitty to each other, and then, like, they just wrap it under the rug and be like making jokes about somebody's mom or somebody's wife. I'm like, bitch, don't say that. No, it's totally not the appropriate way to handle disputes. Like, there is going to be conflict in business and in life and in relationships, and, you know, it's about how you handle conflict and how to come to a middle ground, or to even see the other sides, and to listen to your ears. Because I bet if people listen, I bet the sales manager and the shipping and receiving manager would just, like, honestly and thoroughly look each other in the eyes without the pressure, like, go figure it out, you know. Because what's going to happen is if these two managers are going to start fighting, then they're going to basically create an air of loyalty almost. Like, the shipping and receiving guys are going to be totally against the sales guys. There's not going to be collaboration. There's not going to be a lot of slack or mercy for mistakes. There's not going to be a lot of innovation. I think that's really bad, and it's going to, like, trickle down into almost like rivalry gangs almost, of like, and I've been in jobs where it's like that, where it's like, we don't mess with these people because we don't like them. And it's like, why don't you like them? Oh, we don't like them because of this. And it's like, that has nothing to do with me. I mean, but it's like you almost get wrapped up in the community that you work with, that those people become your enemy because, you know, these are your friends. So you want to stick with your friends and point the finger. And that's not a good way to, you know, go about life, you know. So I don't think that's cool. All right, question number 2. What recommendations would you make to Northern leaderships to help them move towards successfully manage diversity issues? Number 1, I even question, is there a diversity issue? I mean, I don't really know whose place it is to, because it's like, where does the line become, where it's like, we want to hire everybody of equal, I mean, your race shouldn't have anything to do with the job, so why are we even talking about it And if I want to diversify purposely, doesn't that mean I'm firing people because they're not the right race? Which is like, I mean, I think that's fucked up, you know. And it's like, I mean, and switch the races. If it was like 180% white and 20% black, then there's a lot of history and culture behind that, and people would be like, oh, it's racist. But I'm like, I really don't know if there's a lot of animosity between Asians and blacks. I'm not Asian or black, so I don't really know. I don't want to comment on that. But to my knowledge, it doesn't seem like the Asians and the blacks are a gang war. You know, it'd be more believable if they were Mexican or white. You know, I could understand that tension. But because it's black and Asian, it almost seems like it's an artificial tension of not familiarization with each other's culture or customs or friends, and there might be a language barrier there. That might be a really big deal. And honestly, that's one thing I could probably fire somebody for and be like, hey, no hard feelings, bro. It's just I gotta get that English. It's not me. It's just we speak English in this company. And if it was Mexico, we'd be speaking Spanish. So all the black people, you're not speaking Spanish, you gotta get out of here if you don't know the Spanish. It's like, you know, get in where you fit in. If you're obviously in northern Springfield, Massachusetts, you should probably speak English and not. I mean, that almost makes me sound like really fucking bigoted too. It's like, I'm not telling them not to speak their language, but for business purposes, it's like we need to communicate in one clear, precise dialect. I don't know. Makes me feel uncomfortable, honestly. A lot of these questions. That's why it's so hard. It's like, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be racist. Fuck, you know. I try to be accepting of everybody. What I recommend, all right, so. Oh, and so another thing is if it is, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know, it's a little tiff between managers, but it doesn't seem like it because they've been arguing about like, yo, you know, the quality of the work is shit, hurting my sales. And they're like, yo, we need these supplies if we're going to get you good stuff. So there's obviously a disconnect here. And if we could get down to the bottom of it, everybody's going to be happy. I'm sure the sales guys want the guys who manufacture to have good supplies, and I'm sure the guys who manufacture it want the salespeople to be successful, to keep selling the stuff. It's like, we need each other. Don't be bitching at each other. It's like, we're yin and yang. You can't be fucking striving shit, because then the whole entire organism's gonna suffer. So, but if there were like some troublemakers, let's say, that are stirring the pot and being rabble-rousers, I would directly alienate those from either race, and then tie their fates together to where it's like, yo, example, we're gonna say Jonathan and Mark. Jonathan, Mark, you know, you guys got problems. You be talking shit about them stealing. You talk about shit or whatever. I don't care what the problem is. Y'all gotta handle it, because I'm firing both of you, or I'm gonna promote both of you. Like, let's figure this out. I want to see that growth, because you are a leader in your own little community of manufacturing or selling. Well, use that in a good way. Lead that stuff in the positive direction I want to see it go. And if you're not, then I'm just gonna axe your ass. I don't need that boo around here, personally. And I definitely think it's important that people know each other's names. I think we've talked about this before in one of your other classes, but one of my favorite books is Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. And there's a point where he talks about this company called Goring, and they're a tech industry company, but they keep their manufacturing facilities and all their facilities to under 150 people, and that's because Malcolm Gladwell has noticed, and this company has noticed, that usually communication and productivity usually rise when everybody knows each other's names or their faces. So, and human comprehension to understand relationships are so complex, and usually once we go above our threshold of 150, it starts to suffer, you know. And that's just, I think that's a great way to run a company. And technically this company is at 150, so there's no reason why everybody shouldn't know each other's names, you know. Everybody should interact, and I'm not saying they gotta be fucking best friends or shit, but you should be able to say hello in the morning, you know. I think it's good that you treat people with respect and kindness, and knowing somebody's name and knowing who they are, you know, talking. So another thing is, I would like to see a little more community building, like like in this other chapter is talking about, you know, barbecues, cookouts and stuff. That sounds like stupid and lame, but at the same time, it works, you know. It's good to have community events that We can all be together. I'm rambling on. We're at 15 minutes. I need to quit this. All right. If you were shipping and receiving or personal manager, how do you think you would feel about your job? Discuss some of the challenges you might face at Northern. I would feel fucking stressed. Oh my God. Because these people got to be they're my friends. It's like, I don't know relationships and businesses that succeed or are productive or aren't dragging when people don't like each other, dude. You know, if I don't like you, I'm not going to mess with you. And it's hard to get over that, even at work, you know. I think it's incredibly important that these managers start getting along forcefully, or a change in management needs to be made. They both have serious issues, and they both should be addressed with respect to each other. And it's not one team versus the other team. Like, it's so short-sighted for me to see this argument over something. It's petty, you know, it's small. It could be handled. You know, we could easily start getting better supplies, and we could easily start, you know, shipping out stuff faster, or maybe not being overloaded so high in the business. Maybe we could start, I don't know, stretching shit out, or maybe turn it to 24 hours, because you're already hiring part-times, and it sounds like exploitation because they're hiring only minorities and women. It sounds like shady, dude. That sounds shady as fuck, you know. And I'm not trying to say don't hire women and minorities, but if you're only hiring women and minorities, well, why? What's your motive? Are women better card greeters? Are minorities just better employees? No, it's because women and minorities usually take less pay, and it seems like they're trying to be competitive again with the achievement culture. They're trying to hit quotas and stuff, and it's like all about the bottom line, and it's toxic, man. I hate even thinking about this place. It gives me the chills. Like, ugh. No, I'm not a fan. And you know, how would I be? I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed mentally all the time. And that's going to show in my work, which is going to show into my underlings, which is going to like reverberate itself into other things. So I just don't think that's a really good idea. So, well, I hope I did okay. I'm really sorry for the lateness, but this was a really hard one, and I've been so busy, and I was just going to take the L, so I appreciate everything you've done for me, Professor. Have a great week. I hope you enjoy it, and give me feedback, man, because sometimes I need some feedback. So sometimes I feel like I'm not getting it. You just need to know I am. So have a good one.